Well, the historic homes of Riverside and Avondale open their doors this week as they do each year as part of the annual Riverside Avondale Preservation Home Tour. Here to discuss what's on display this 51st year of the home tour is Shannon Blankinship, Executive Director of RAP, Riverside Avondale Preservation. Hey, Shannon.
Hi, thanks for having me.
51 years.
Yeah, so we actually set some records last year with our 50th anniversary, and I'm really excited that we're at 51. We have some really excellent homes to bring back to show people if they decide to join us again.
So, Riverside Avondale Preservation actually got rolling in the 70s at some point.
74.
And well before this was a designated historic district, Riverside or Avondale.
Yes. Well, so Riverside and Avondale were obviously neighborhoods before we created the historic district. But in forming the historic district, the tour of homes was really a signature part of the movement, right? Showing off the work that people had done to restore and improve, especially in the face of so much demolition and so much loss throughout the neighborhood. So keeping this tradition alive is really a part of the mission of the entire organization.
And so Riverside Avondale Preservation, focuses on helping preserve the character of the neighborhood, celebrating the homes. And there really is a great diversity for people who are watching our live stream. We've got some photos up of some of the homes that are on this year's tour, but tell us a little bit about the diverse architectural styles that you're featuring this year.
So, if you're like me, then when you first entered Riverside and then Avondale, you were blown away by the fact that we would never be defined as cookie cutter. And in fact, the architectural styles throughout the neighborhood are some of the most diverse in the entire world. So, the home tour, you're able to sample a few of homes to sort of understand what that really means. The difference between Mediterranean revival, between international style, your traditional bungalow, a craftsman, a frame vernacular, colonial revival. We've got that throughout the neighborhood, and we try and select a good variety of those for the tour each year so people can see the difference.
And so this tour has all of those varieties. I actually was interested to see this international style, this one that's kind of on St. John's Avenue along something called Bourbon Alley, which I had not even heard about before. I thought that was kind
Sure.
of funny.
And so anyone who was just watching the Oscars, this home has a particular nod because one of the most famous films we were talking about was The Brutalist, and the Brutalist style architecture has a nod to what would become international style architecture. The only international style architecture home in the neighborhood is featured on the home tour this year, and so you can really sort of walk inside and see evidence of it. So if anyone is wanting to learn more about that, that's one of the homes you can check out. Bourbon Alley is a really sort of interesting part of the neighborhood because it is in fact not an alley, it's a driveway and it is private. And so this is again one of those like we invite you in to see something that normally you wouldn't be able to. But the five homes along Bourbon Alley have become really an enclave, their own sort of a cul-de-sac of relationships and stories over time. And so being able to venture in and see what that's like, I think is special.
And bourbon was actually part of the creation of that. Is
It there was an afternoon bourbon time, for, the folks on Bourbon Alley, that became, well known, and then the story goes that during Lent, they would rename the street to, Lipton Alley, and so they would have tea time, and a lot of these stories, there's so many of them in the neighborhood. I love that for the home tour, we get to sort of, like, uplift and identify some of these really, just fascinating, parts of our neighborhood.
So in addition to the home tour, there's 12 properties, like 9 styles that are featured. 8 of these never before shown.
Yeah, so this year again, we really sort of reached out to homes where when doing the research, we found out they had never been on the home tour before. And there's so many homes in the neighborhood that everybody can identify and say that one and that one and that one. For this year, I think you're going to see a lot of the homes that you know are like, I never looked over there. I never noticed that one. And so I think it'll be a fun sort of, it's 51, right? Like how is 51 sort of standing out as a
Mhm.
signature year? And I think it's a year that we brought on so many homes that have never done this before.
So you can hoof it if you want. It's over 2 miles this tour, but you can also there's a couple of options. There's Art Bikes Jacks that's offering a tour and the Go Tuckin' folks.
Yeah, and I encourage people this time of year is the best time of year to bring your bikes out there and show up, and you'll see people biking all over the neighborhood in order to enjoy not just the 12 homes, but your favorite restaurants, your favorite coffee spots, and learn a little bit about the neighborhood while you're there.
And there's also, like, an art pop-up at this event?
Yes, we have one of the homes will feature local made art all throughout through the Jacksonville Artist Guild. Another property is actually a commercial property that is about to open up. So you'll get to walk into it's called Market at Park and sort of learn more about what they're going to be selling there when they open very soon.
Oh, fun. And then, uh, people who attend and buy tickets also get a discount at the Comer.
Yes, the Comer, great partner for the event. And so the Comer has given a discount to people so that you can come and either dine there that day or enjoy the gardens when you're all done.
Well, the event is, both Saturday and Sunday, this coming Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 4 on Saturday and 12 to 4 on 10 to 4 on Saturday, 12 to 4 on Sunday.
Thank you.
Where
But
can people get,
yeah,
tickets?
most importantly, 904 Tix is where you can get tickets, and you can do the tour anytime in those 2 days. So if you wanna do 6 homes on Saturday
Uh,
and a few more on Sunday, then break it up and really enjoy yourselves. It's casual, it's go as you want, bring your bike, do the Go Tuckin' tour, or just walk with your friends, anything you wanna do.
just stay out of medicine cabinets. All right, Shannon Blankinship, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Anne.